Hey guys, this is Connor, and we're going to go over exam 2, and this is question 1. So it says, consider the reaction 2N2O gas plus O2 gas goes to 4NO gas. This process has a delta H naught of positive 197 kilojoules per mole and a delta S at positive 198.4 joules per mole Kelvin. Based on these data, note units carefully and assume that delta H naught and S naught are temperature independent. Answer the following questions and please write prompted answer in the blank provided. So the first question is, does this reaction favor reactants or products at 25 degrees Celsius? Now, one of the first equations that you should come to is the one of ln K equals delta S over R minus delta H over RT. Now I would suggest flipping this and making it negative delta H over RT plus delta S over R. And when we break this down, we can write it as ln of K goes to negative delta H over R, and because this normally is R over R times T, we'll make it times 1 over T plus a delta S over R. Now this being said, the next step that we have to do is kind of see it as a y-slope equation. So if we make ln K our y, we make negative delta H over R our m, our 1 over T x, and our delta S over R our b. This makes a linear regression line, or a linear line in any sense of the word, where b is our y-intercept, y is our ln K, and when we graph this, we're going to see if ln K is our y and 1 over T is our x, we can make a line graph of approximation, and if our slope is a negative delta H over R, a negative slope, however, we need to confirm that this is negative. So we look at our delta H value of positive 197. Now, at positive 197 times a negative is negative. Therefore, our line should look something along the lines like this. Now, when you're looking at a graph like this, we always need to note that reactants start at one end, and it's always going to be the left end, and products for the right. Now, if you had a boulder on the top of the line, let's say reactants here, is it going to fall easily towards the products going down the slope, or is it going to go up the slope? And the answer is simple. A boulder, if just sitting on a hill, will go down the hill. And because it is going towards products and away from reactants, it is favoring the reactant side. So therefore, our answer is reactants. Now, let's say if our slope was positive, and our slope kind of did this. When we had that boulder, and we'll have the boulder, let's say, just sitting in the center of that hill, it would easily roll down the hill towards reactants. Therefore, it would have favored products. So it is important, if you can, to write your equation in the sense of a y equals mx plus b, so you can understand the slope and the way of the line, and then knowing your delta H and knowing that you have to negate it will help you identify the slope of the line, and you could do a theoretical answer to this problem. Now, if we want to do the reality of it, it's at 25 degrees Celsius. That being said, it would be a 1 over T. So 1 over 25 degrees Celsius in this sense. We would be able to assume that it would be probably about right here. if we again had that boulder going down and we plugged in our delta H's, now 1 is at kilojoules, where delta S is in joules. So we're going to have to make sure that we convert one or the other to what we want. And normally we would want kilojoules. So we would convert our delta S, that is in joules, and we would multiply by 1,000 to get 2 kilojoules.